reflects somewhere how little the powers that be know what India is. I mean, it's obscene when
less than a third of the total currency that was in use on the 8th is in use at the moment. Even if you are able to replace at the same rate as you're doing right now, it would take 100 days or more than 3.5 months for that replenishment to take place. But if for a 3-month period, which is 1 quarter, if you have roughly 10% of economic activity disrupted, that's 2.5% of your GDP gone, annual GDP gone. And of course, the effects of that go beyond that. See, when economic activity gets disrupted, so lots of small units will get disrupted. Shortage of cash will lead to various ways of trying to make up for that. People will go into debt. And the effects, therefore, on the production process will continue way beyond these 3 or 4 months. And if there is a disruption of economic activity, there is no automatic process in the kind of economy we have of bringing it back on track. So, it's not withdrawn so much currency from circulation. Spending activity is bound to come down. So, its first effect is whatever is produced and yet to be sold doesn't get sold.
We had rural economy under huge distress because of 2 years of successive drought. Sort of all the sort of whole context of withdrawal of public investment and so on, and then comes the demonetization. Now, the informal labor, both rural and urban, agriculture and non-agriculture, and construction would be one major sector, because construction over the last 10 years or so has really emerged as a sector that absorbs a lot of residual labor.
Because if you have this process where the inability to spend the money that you have leads to a disruption of production and the process by which income is generated, then the following effect of that is that the income that people would spend has not got created. So, the consequences for demand are not just the immediate effects, but the loss of income that people are suffering, that will have an effect on the demand even beyond this immediate period.
You hear on the radio or the TV an advertisement telling people, pick up the smartphone, use something like Paytm and pay. I mean, do they know what they are talking about? I mean, do they know what people, destitution and poverty poor working classes of this country live in? I mean, do they have any idea of what this country is about?